All right, let's begin. I'm going to demonstrate on how to do an orthographic drawing. This is orthographic projection. So we're going to have how many views? Three. What are they going to be? Probably. Top, front, and right. Let's go ahead and label those so we don't forget. Top, front, and right side. All right. We happen to have a manipulative of this object that we are drawing here. You can see in this drawing, what type of drawing is this? Isometric drawing. We're going to go from an isometric drawing to an orthographic drawing because we cannot use an isometric drawing for accuracy. All right. I have provided you with some very interesting things to help you. The blue center lines that I have provided for you. Gentlemen, the blue center lines I have provided for you. That gives you a good starting place. You'll notice that you have center lines on the top, the front, and the right side, which are indicators of this area. So let's start with the circle, since we already know that we have them and we have the center lines for them. You can count using the squares that it is 1, 2 from the center to the circumference. And since that is the center line, we know that it will be the same distance all the way around. I'm going to start by counting out from my center 2 squares. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. I have now have the circle marked all the way around. I will then take my circle template or similar type item. Circle templates are nice because they have little lines that you can line up. You probably cannot see them in this, but they are there. Once we have found the appropriate sized circle, or very close to the appropriate sized circle, we will draw. For those of you that think you're going to follow along and do this at the same time, sit down. You cannot keep up with me. All right, we now have the basis for our drawing. You can see from the top view that we have the circle represented here. Now let's go ahead and draw the outside arc. You'll notice on the isometric drawing that it comes 2 squares from the back or 3. It looks like 2 from the top, so you always want to count from the bottom if possible. So 1, 2, 3. We are going to go from here to the top of the circle to this side. This time we are just going to draw an arc. I'm going to appropriately line this up. We now have the basic outside front shape. What do we see next? We can see that we have 2 squares that run across the back. We also see that we have a V in the middle. Now, we know that we cannot represent an angle on an orthographic projection in this way that shows depth. We'll just go ahead and draw in the back. And now the 2 sides. Remember, as always, neatness counts. We have now completed the 2 sides. We can also see from the top view, we have these 2 squares. So we're going to go ahead and draw those in. We also have this change in elevation here. That will be represented by a single line because it is a change in elevation. We cannot accurately present it. Now, these are tricky. We have the angled pieces here on the outside. It's tempting to count up and go 1, 2, 3, 4, but that is not the true shape. As an angled piece and we're looking straight down on it, we can only count at the base and go 1, 2. So we're going to go out 2 and draw our lines. And that completes the top view. Now onto the front view. We learned earlier that there is a connection between the top and the front view. We can lay our scale right down here and put in our hidden lines right off the bat for our circle on both sides. We have now completed the circle from the front view because we cannot actually see it. We have the center line and the 2 points of tangency. Looking straight down at our object, or in the picture this way, it is obvious that it goes clear to the top. Clear across the bottom. Down 1. And then it connects at how far out? That is correct. 3. 1, 2, 3. Which just happens to be the same place at the edge of our hidden line. Okay? Then across the top here, you can see we're going to go across the top. Now, we are not done. We have a few things that we need to represent. First, we have to represent this triangle. Even though we are looking through this angle and we cannot see it, it still exists. We need to add that with hidden lines here. And then we have the change in elevation where this V is, which is 2 squared down. 1, 2. We'll add that. Now we've completed that. Next is the right side. Looking down the right side or looking this way, the first thing you see is a giant M. So let's go ahead and draw the giant M. And it's how deep? It is 2 squares deep. We can line that up from here because here's our change of elevation. We can get points of tangency from our circle because there are 2 out. They have not changed. Now, this is tricky. We have a curved piece here, but when you look straight down at it, does it appear to be curved or will it be flat? It will be flat because we cannot represent that. So let's go ahead and draw that in. And then we have the 2 angled pieces once again. But since they're angled and we're looking straight at the angle, how are they going to appear? They will appear to be flat. Very good. Now it appears I have made a mistake in my drawing, does it not? Because before I drew my M, I did not what? Look at this. We did not come over 1 square. Let's correct that. Make sure when you're doing corrections that you erase the other lines completely. If you're working in a mechanical pencil, they usually erase fairly well. Double check to make sure we've got all of our hidden lines. We have 2 hidden lines here, no others on this surface, and our object is complete. Stop that.